there is a huge amount of unrecorded human history beneath the ocean surface that we don't know very much about at all.
Have you ever heard the story of Atlantis? The lost city that was said to be located in the Atlantic Ocean. Some say it was a myth, but others believe it was real, and some even believe it still exists. But what if Atlantis was more than just a city? A group of people are determined to prove it, and today we are going to talk about the question, what if it exists? So, there's this ancient Greek philosopher named Plato who wrote these two stories called Timaeus and Critias, where he talks about this place called Atlantis. According to Plato, Atlantis was this super advanced civilization that existed like 11,000 years ago, way before his time. In Timaeus, Plato introduces the story of Atlantis as a conversation between Socrates, Timaeus and Critias. Critias recounts a tale passed down from his grandfather, who heard it from the Athenian statesman Solon during his visit to Egypt. Plato describes Atlantis as this big island beyond the Strait of Gibraltar, ruled by these godlike people called the Atlanteans. The island itself was supposedly amazing, with fertile land, mountains, and even this epic city at the centre called Atlantis. The city had rings of land and water connected by canals, kind of like some ancient water park or something. The island was said to be ruled by a noble and divine race called the Atlanteans. They were known for their advanced technology, wealth, and military might. Atlantis wanted to take over other lands, including Athens, but they failed miserably and got punished by the gods. The whole island sank into the sea in just one day and night, disappearing. Now, here's the catch. Some people think Plato made up this whole Atlantis thing just to get his philosophical idea across. You know, like a fictional story. Others, though, believe there could be some truth to it, and maybe that Atlantis was a real place. You know, when Plato came up with this Atlantis thing, he had some stuff going on in his own time. There was political chaos and he wasn't too happy with how things were going on. So, Atlantis was his way of criticising society and exploring alternative political systems. It was his mic drop moment, saying, hey, maybe we can learn from Atlantis and do things differently. There's a possibility that this famous story was not just some ancient city that sank into the ocean. It's a fancy way for Plato, the ancient Greek philosopher, to teach us some lessons and share his ideas. According to Plato, Atlantis was like this perfect society. It was a utopia, a dreamland. Imagine this place with advanced technology, an honest government, and everything running smoothly. It represented Plato's vision of an ideal society where justice, wisdom, and harmony reigned supreme. But here's the kicker. Atlantis wasn't all rainbows and unicorns. No, it eventually went downhill. The people of Atlantis got all greedy and let their morals slip and become a corrupt mess. That led to their downfall. So it's like a big warning sign, telling us what happens when we lose our way and get consumed by materialistic desires. Plato was smart in the way he used Atlantis as a way to get his philosophical ideas across. One of his big things was the philosopher king. He believed that an enlightened ruler who valued justice and wisdom should be in charge. In Atlantis, the rulers embodied this ideal. So, the story helps Plato explore his thoughts on leadership and how it affects society. Atlantis also touches on Plato's metaphysics. He believed in this realm of perfect, eternal concepts called forms. And Atlantis, with its advanced knowledge and achievements, was like a glimpse into that realm. It's like Plato saying, hey guys, there's this world of ideas out here, and Atlantis was kind of close to it. We have the famous Piri Reis map. This ancient map, created by Piri Reis back in the 16th century, has caught the attention of Atlantis enthusiasts. The map was found in Turkey of all places. They believe that a section of the map bears a resemblance to the mythical city of Atlantis. Some get excited and think that Piri Reis had access to secret knowledge about Atlantis from ancient sources. But most experts take a more sceptical view. They argue that the map's similarities are likely due to the limitations and inaccuracies of cartography during that time. Another map was found by a man named Oronteus Phineas. This man used to be a mapmaker around the same time as Piri Reis. His maps are pretty famous because they show Antarctica without all the ice. Hard to believe, right? Now, here's the kicker. Some people think that on one of those maps there's a landmass near Antarctica that could be Atlantis. It's a wild idea, for sure, but you know, experts aren't so convinced. They have their doubts about the accuracy of these old maps, so it's a bit of a stretch to connect them to Atlantis. Moving on to Herodotus, the Greek historian from ancient times. He lived way back in ancient times, around the 5th century BC. In his writings, Herodotus mentioned a civilization called the Atlanteans. According to him, they were powerful people living beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which corresponds to the modern-day Strait of Gibraltar. Many enthusiasts see this as a potential reference to Atlantis. But here's the thing. Herodotus provided limited details about the Atlanteans, leaving his account quite vague. As a result, it's challenging to consider it solid evidence for the existence of Atlantis. You know how different cultures have those awesome stories and legends passed down through generations, right? It's all about their history, their beliefs, and their culture. And get this, some of these stories mention a sunken city or a lost continent. Let's take the Mayans as an example. Those guys were super smart with astronomy, math, and all that stuff. With their mythology and folklore, they've got these legends about a sunken homeland or lost cities. And that got some people thinking, hey, maybe the Mayans are talking about Atlantis. It's like a puzzle waiting to be solved. But we've got to be careful with these old traditions. You know how it goes, right? These stories have different meanings, and they're all tied to the specific culture and community that they came from. When a story gets passed down through the generations, it might get tweaked or interpreted differently. It's not just about Atlantis, rather. It's about their history and beliefs too. So, we can't take it as solid proof for Atlantis. Geological anomalies are like these totally weird and mysterious natural formations that don't fit the typical patterns we see in the Earth's geology. One of these anomalies is called the Bimini Road. It's this underwater rock formation near the Bahamas that looks like a paved road or something man-made. Atlantis fans think this could be part of the lost city, but most geologists say it's just a natural beach rock. Then you've got the Yonaguni Monument off the coast of Japan. It's this massive rock formation with steps and terraces that some say looks like an ancient city. Atlantis enthusiasts are all, this has to be Atlantis, but geologists are divided on it. Some think it's just natural erosion and stuff, but others think humans might have had a hand in it. There are also these circular structures near the Azores Islands. Some people say these could be Atlantis ruins, but geologists are saying it's more than likely just some volcanic activity. Finally, let's talk about the underwater structures. Back in 1985, a diver named Kihachiro Aratake stumbled across these rock formations, and boy did they get people talking. Supporters of the Atlantis theory claim that these structures have straight edges, flat surfaces, and even steps that look man-made. They're convinced that these are the remains of an ancient city or complex that got submerged ages ago. But the majority of scientists aren't buying it. They say that the Yonaguni formations are the result of natural geological processes like erosion from the water and tectonic activity. According to these experts, similar rock formations can be found in different parts of the world, and they're all made by Mother Nature, not ancient civilizations. What do you think about this lost city? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed today's video and found it interesting, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to be always updated with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you again soon in another video.